Hi, everyone. So I want to apologize for the lighting. Um, I know I'm probably a little dark. I'm in my room because my husband is sleeping and I didn't want to wake him up by doing a live stream. So that is why I'm in my room. Uh, so The reason why I'm starting this live stream is because I wanted to share a little bit about myself. And a lot of people don't know this about me. So I am going to tell you a few things that no one knows that I've never shared. Um, so I am a person with disabilities. I have intellectual disabilities and I have autism 1. Um, and so, and I know that a lot of people don't know that about me, but yes, I do have autism and I do have disabilities. A lot of disabilities that I have people won't don't know that I have only because if you look at me, you see me as a person, but you don't see that I have a disability and that's usually how things are. But yes, I do have a disability. I do have, like I said, I do have autism and intellectual disabilities, and I do have a lot of things that I do have a lot, but I want to share that only because the reason why I started this channel is because I have had to deal with a lot of things, and I wanted to put a lot of my experiences out there and for people to know what has been going on with me, and all that. Um, because I do know that a lot of people treat people with disabilities differently because we are disabled. And just because we're disabled does not mean that we're any different than anybody else. That is the reason why I started these videos. That is the reason why I started a lot of my peer support videos and why I video a lot of the things that I video. And it's because, I am getting, I want people to see and know my experiences, what I go through, the day-to-day stuff. And plus, a lot of people don't know unless, they work with me or they see me. Um, they don't know that I'm disabled. Uh, but growing up um, with my family, I did have some struggles, but not a whole lot of struggles. Of course, my mother was my main advocate for me. Uh, so I was sheltered most of my life. So now that I'm in the big girl world, things are, I call it the big girl world. Sorry for my, you know, um, that there are a lot of things that are different now, um, that I've grown up. Growing up for me was not easy. I did have trouble growing up. I did find that there were a lot of challenges for me. Like if you see um, my peer support too, I talk a lot about my talk about ADD, and I talk about living with it, what I go through, and all that stuff with that. Um, and the peer support one, I talk about um, the videos that I do or that I want to do, and that I talk a lot about the reasons why I started the videos and what I would like to do in the videos. Just because I haven't done a lot of the stuff doesn't mean that I'm not gonna do them. I just got a lot going on right now. That is the reason why I haven't done a whole lot of things. I mean, there's like so much, but anyway, back to what I was talking about. So anyway, um, growing up, I was bullied. Uh, I was bullied a lot in school. Because of my disability, I think that people didn't understand me or my disability, and I feel like that's the reason why I got picked on a lot, throughout the school year, like, until I graduated, I was picked on a lot, um, and not only that, but after getting out of high school, I struggled with a lot. um I did, um, have a lot of struggles after getting out of high school, and I had to learn a lot. Um, I did get a job, out of high school. I did, I worked at a florist shop, and it was like a summer job, I wanna say, and I did like doing that. And then after graduation, uh, I still lived with my parents for a while, and then, after growing up, I ended up in a group home, but, the one thing I didn't like about the group homes is that, um, people with disabilities get treated differently when you live in a group home. Uh, and they, basically treat you like you can't do anything for yourself. Um, I forget the word that how they treat you. Um, basically, you don't have any choices. They do make a lot of choices for you, and they treat you like you're a child when you're in a group home. Uh, and that is one of the things that, that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I was gonna do a video about it to explain a little bit more about that whole thing. But I used to live, like I said, I used to live in a group home, and people who live in group home, people with disabilities who live in a group home don't get treated very well. I mean, some of them do and some of them don't. It depends. People that are people that work in a group home do take advantage of you. Depending on where you go, who they are. I mean, there are some good people in group homes. Don't let me sorry, and I'm not that, but there are some people who do take advantage of people with disabilities because they don't understand what's going on. So it's a little bit easier for people to get taken advantage of. Um, and some places are like that, and some places are not. It depends. But me going into group homes, I was taken advantage of a lot. I had a lot of issues with staff. Uh, hold on to my own money. They hold on to my own money. I couldn't do my own medications. They did my medications. Um, like I couldn't visit people unless they allowed it. Like, if I went home, it's just, you know, um, when I was undergrad, things are different. It was like, okay, so if I wanted to dye my hair or if I wanted to go see a friend, they're like, oh, well, you got to call your mom up to see if you can do that. Your mom says no, then you can't do it. Well, to me, it felt like I was living in a jail because with group homes, you don't have a lot of freedom in a group home. That's why I didn't really like living in a group home. So when I went into a not shared living, might it be shared living? Um um I think it was a shared living home where I would live with somebody else. So I would live with a staff person and their home. Well, I lived with them until they passed on, but I had a little bit of in them, and so when I did the shared living, I also went used to live in crisis homes as well. But the crisis homes wasn't because I was in crisis necessarily. It was because I didn't have anywhere to go to, and that's why I ended up in one of their homes. But once I ended up living, um, things were good for a bit, and then I think the person I was living with, I think bit off more than she could chew, and then and passed away, I ended up with another person who I liked, but it took me a the other lady I was a little upset with because she made me get rid of my cat because her daughter they made me get rid of my cat because they said my cat had fleas. Wow, or was causing a problem. Well, it was her dogs or her daughter's dogs that gave my cat fleas because my cat was an indoor cat. There was no way that she would have caused any of the issues. Anyway, moving on. Uh, so I did live in a group in a living home, and the last shared living home I lived in was pretty nice. I enjoyed it, but the thing was is that all the homes that I've lived in, I never once got any of my own choices. I never, if there was a meeting, if I was there, I felt like I was not part of the conversation. And when I was there, you know, my, I should be able to speak for myself. I should have been able to advocate for myself back then or when I couldn't do it back then. I moved out into my own apartment was very nice when I went to go live with her. I mean, things were still the same, but not as bad. Her husband was nice. She was nice. They had two cats, and I think I enjoyed being with her. It took me a while to open up to them. Because it was just after I lost my cat uh, that I went to go live with them, and it took me like maybe a little while to open up to them. But once I opened up, things were okay. But I still didn't feel like I was being heard or anything like that. I mean, they were hearing me, but I feel like I still wasn't able to make my own choices, which and the reason why things went downhill, I'll tell you why. So, when I had moved into my own apartment, I'm sorry, it's kind of a little late, excuse me. Um, when I moved into my apartment, my husband was because of the people and how they were, they wanted, uh, and then my husband to move in after. Uh, so, and then what happened with that is the fact that is the people didn't think that they wanted me to first. to get me used to the apartment, but I couldn't understand why Jason couldn't be there as well. But I really didn't like the people that I was with either because they made things so hard. So I stayed there, and I think until September, I think either was, but when my husband moved in, they um I did have a lot of area with the staff people. Once Jason moved in, um, I thought everything was going good until they started accusing him of things, and then they started giving us a hard time because my husband and I were on food stamps under his name. But when we went grocery shopping, he wouldn't give me the card only because he didn't want them to have it. And the other thing with them was that when I went food shopping, they only wanted me to buy food for myself. They didn't want me to buy anything for him. So to tell them it was for me in order to get things for him, which to him. Um, and that just made everything real. The staff made things even harder because they always went back and said things that weren't true. Like saying that in his life. He's never been abusive to me. I don't know where they were getting all this crap, but he was never abusive to me. He's never laid a hand on me. There was never any issues real to me that really, really upset me knowing that they were trying to make him look like somebody that they didn't like, which I just because he was hanging out with this person, he was not a good dude, or associated with this person. Um, they decided that, they tried to make him look like a bad guy too, which he was not. But as soon as he stopped hanging out with the other person, uh, I felt really bad that Um, I don't understand why um, they would want to make things hard for us. And they did. Uh, he's hard of hearing, so when he talks, he can be a little loud sometimes. So it may seem like he's yelling, but he's not yelling. And that did cause a little bit of issues as well with him. Um, and so when Jason and I talk, or you know, they always thought we were arguing or with each other, and we weren't. So there was usually understandings with us. And then it got to a point where the these was not they had an advocate, or the state advocate called me, excuse me, because they were getting reports and people were getting concerned about me. People there were under investigation for, I think, filing reports that didn't need to be filed. And we're looking into them. I said again, it didn't make it really hard for us, but we did. Sorry. Uh, they Everything went back to them. They weren't happy with me. I think they dropped me, or they decided not to work with me anymore. And then I tried other agencies for a while, but those agencies never really it out. So then I had to go back to the other, but I ended up anyway only because there was basically no other choices, and they said they were doing better. The agency was doing a lot better, so I went with them. But after being with the agency, that was not the case. The agency lied. The agency wasn't doing better. They were. Oh crap. So that is why they was being taken advantage of. A lot of my rights were being violated, and I just felt like I wasn't getting the support I just really felt like um, they just weren't the right survey, the support that I needed at that time. And they were hiring people, but so I also uh and I am now, let's see, which I like. They're really not that bad. Um, I started getting what I needed, but I do have one staff person who I like a lot, and I find that we work really well together. But I still feel that years, not just with the group homes, not just, with the shared living and the crisis home and all that stuff. I mean, I've had people take advantage of me, people walking all over me, and I've never really had the voice. Anyone really. I mean, I did have one landlord that um we're gonna say her name was DM. Did husband's mother apartment when my husband put his mother in a home. I know the uh, uh, we could have saved her stuff and everything, but we were wrong. DM was a slumlord, and we've lost a lot of stuff because of her. Lost her cat. Um, all the stuff that I have now or that we have now, we've had to build everything from scratch. Uh, lost. And that was, very hard for us. Uh, and it was very hard for me. And it's very hard for me to talk about this stuff. But I find that getting the stuff off my chest also helps me. But um, like I said too, there's a lot that I've had to deal with, and a lot of the stuff that I told you is most of it. I mean, like I said, I've been bullied. There's just a lot of things, like people took advantage of me because I am disabled or because I have a disability. People think that because you're disabled, you don't know what's going on. They take advantage of you. Me, I'm a pretty smart person. I know what's going on, and if someone takes advantage of me, I know it. But there are some people who don't know it, And that's, you know, what people have to really watch out for, because yes, I'm not gonna lie, I've gotten taken advantage of before I know what I know now. I wish I knew a lot back then, and I wish I knew that, uh, things have happened, and I wish there's a lot of things I could take back. Um, but there's really nothing I can time to advocate for myself. Before I met my husband, um, I didn't know how to advocate for myself or speak my the agency that I was with didn't like him because he was teaching me how to stand up for myself, to learn the right from wrong, to know when they were taking advantage of me. And like, why do you let them walk all over you? Stand up, say something, and all that. And as soon as I did, they didn't like that. And that's when they started giving us the issues. He took better care of me than they did. I mean, he did a lot for me more than they had. I didn't get any help from them whatsoever, really. It was mostly him and the budgeting and all that. Well, the reason why I started the banking and the budgeting video, back then I didn't have a lot of the help or the knowledge that I have now. I didn't have anyone teaching me or showing me or any back then, if I don't because if I did, I wouldn't have been asking for help. So back then I had a checkbook with checks, but I bounced my checks, so I couldn't do checks. I had overdrafted my account by a lot, and I owed a lot of money only because I didn't have the help back then. I didn't have anyone to show me how to do things, and I felt so, but now I know a lot more. Now, excuse me, my debit card number, and I've had people steal my money a lot of times because of that. And I, but now, now this last time I had to change the number again and all that. But now I've got a new card. I came to that. Um, I think that sharing my budgeting videos, showing you what I'm doing, or that that's another milestone for me because I'm learning, taking care of my own home and all that. Um, because I'm disabled, do a lot of their own thing because you're disabled. Okay, guess what? I'm living proof of it. I am living in my own apartment. I'm married. That says a lot. And a lot of people think that just because we're disabled, and that is the reason why I started doing this channel that I do, because we think that we can't do anything our normal people do. Just like any other person who pays rent or whatever. I live in my own apartment. I've had to overcome a lot of obstacles that I have come a long way. Anybody can do it. You know, um, and like I said, the reason why I started doing my videos is because I want to advocate for people. I want, what goes on with me, uh, what I do on my day to what my routines are like. And a lot of the videos that I show you uh, are mostly what they are like. That's my day-to-day tasks are, with budgeting and cooking and all that. Or like a lot of that a lot of emotions. I talk about what goes on and all that. A lot of my videos mostly are about me and my day-to-day challenges. Like, I do have a lot of challenges. I do have a lot of, I do have a lot of bipolar episodes, like with like the beef stew video. I wasn't quite connecting or speaking or doing a lot of. I was having a bipolar episode that day, and Mark was helping me with the video. So, yes, I do know there are some parts of my videos that I need to improve on, and there are some parts that, some videos are good, some I know I need to improve on. Some of the videos you see are the videos that I first started. Another tripod. I do plan on hooking my camera up to that. I've been doing some art right now. I'm using my computer camera doing this video. I'm trying to I'm sorry, I'm getting a little scattered. I apologize. It's my ADD. That's the other thing that, but I do get a little scattered sometimes, and I am working on that, like I said. Um, but that is okay. But time dealing with a lot of changes and me go through a lot of the changes, a lot of the challenges, like, and I've got a lot of challenges, like with The old staff person I used to have, I had to get rid of her for I had a little bit of a hard time keeping up with our routine. So, videos that I do, like the role play videos are about some some of the experience I've experienced, but I wanted to turn it into a role play to see what some scenes to better advocate people. Um, and there are some things that I do. Excuse me, sorry. Oh, I'm not doing. Well, I'm putting the videos on my what I have left. Jason video. Um, but I am gonna put on the rest of what I got, and then we're doing away with that. We're doing away with some videos. Um, that um, well, that's one of them. I I feel that um I can only do it so many times. So and a lot of people get the wrong idea of either advertisement and all that like so many times before people get sick of seeing me do them, so I'm gonna get rid of those as well. Um, I did put on some, and I am working on some other videos. Like the benefits are talking about your benefits. What when you are married, when you work, your benefits do about what happens. A few stories are true. Excuse me. A few stories are true on here. Um, and stupid me. I tried putting on a video, and I hit the delete button, and I deleted half of my video. And redo the videos all and kind of stinks in a way, but um but I do have some videos that I do have on my computer that I can put on YouTube already. So I sent out, and once all those are done, I will make videos. I do still have some videos I can put on here, which I do plan on doing. I still can't believe I did that though. I cannot believe I did that. Um, but and it wasn't just a couple of videos, it was a buttload of videos that I accidentally deleted, but um and I know that I I was gonna let you know what my schedule was. Um, but right now that I'm gonna be taking some college, I could chew again. So a schedule between my classes, um, my college classes, my business classes, seminars, whatever, uh, my schedule from my work, plus, you know, my schedule for services and all that. I think teen was don't worry about that. I am figuring out a schedule anyway. Got a schedule, I will schedule all picked out, but now that I have added more, I'm gonna be so um I'm gonna have to figure out a different schedule at least month, depending on how I feel. I'm thinking maybe possibly once a month, or maybe try for once a week. And once a week, then maybe let out. And I am, like I said, I am struggling a little bit. My husband is having some health issues um that we're working on right now. So uh and I have to so I am a tired person. um there's just so much. I possibly may do a part 2 to this at some point. Anyways, like and subscribe to my channel. Comments, let me know.